Welcome back to the deep dive. So we're looking at the BuggyLens Microscope for kids today. We got a bunch of reviews on this.
We did.
And the mission is to figure out if this thing is a real STEM tool or if it's just, clever marketing.
That's the crucial question, isn't it? Especially for a product aimed at sparking that early interest in science.
Ages 3 to 12, they say.
Right. And for that age group, the raw technical specs aren't really the most important thing. It's more about, does it actually get a kid to act like a scientist?
Okay, so let's get into those specs first. Physically, it's compact, colorful, looks like it would fit right in the kid's hand.
Totally.
It promises up to 200x magnification, which seems pretty high.
Yeah.
The whole idea is kids can just scan anything they find. A leaf, a bug, whatever.
And that's fun, but here's where it gets really interesting and where the core value is. It's the interactive part.
What do you mean?
It's not just for looking. The device lets kids take photos and even videos of what they find right there on the spot.
Oh.
And that one feature, that simple action, it transforms just looking at something into a kind of, well, a mini science project.
So you're turning curiosity into documentation, into data.
Exactly.
But let's be realistic. If you're talking 200x magnification from a small plastic toy, we have to talk about the clarity. Are they really documenting anything useful or just blurry blogs?
And that's a sharp question. It's a really good point. But if you think about early childhood development, the immediate goal isn't perfect optical resolution. It's about teaching the process. The act of documenting teaches them to observe, to organize, to remember what they saw.
So it's more about training the behavior than perfecting the instrument.
You've got it. They're learning to record findings, which is a way more critical skill at that age than seeing, say, the individual cells on a leaf with perfect clarity.
Okay, that reframes it completely.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if this thing is supposed to encourage outdoor use, it has to survive being handled by a 3-year-old.
Oh, absolutely. And the reviewers did touch on that. They said while it's lightweight, which is great, it's also fairly durable.
Fairly durable. I feel like that could mean a lot of things.
Well, think of it this way. It's probably built to survive a tumble into the grass or some dirt, a hard drop onto the pavement. Maybe not so much.
So there's a clear design trade-off here. They prioritize being rugged and low cost over having, crystal clear optics.
Precisely. And that's the reality check. The reviews are clear that this is not a high-end lab microscope. You shouldn't expect that kind of result.
So the difference between seeing the texture of a bug's wing versus counting the tiny hairs on its leg.
That's a perfect way to put it. Oh, and one other minor thing they flagged was battery life. If your kids are out there taking tons of videos, you might need to keep an eye on it.
Sure, that makes sense. So to pull this all together, the verdict from the sources seems pretty clear.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as you manage your expectations and you understand it's a learning toy, not a professional tool, it's actually a solid buy. The sources even called it legit.
Because it achieves its main goal.
Okay.
It gets kids outside and encourages that hands-on learning.
Right.
And that really raises an important question for you, the listener. If the goal of early science education is to foster curiosity over technical perfection, what is the real value of a tool that lets a child start their own little observational science projects right now?
That's a great thought to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive where we try to separate the tool from the hype. We'll see you next time.